I'm gonna need to see some ID, okay?
Hi and welcome to the Geek Legion of Doom, and we're going to be talking about the movie Time Rush, a 2016 sci-fi martial arts movie directed by Daniel Zirali. Apologies if I have got that name wrong there. And this is a kind of a low budget, it's more of an action film, to be quite honest with you, but with sci-fi overtones, obviously kind of time travel here. And the easiest way you would describe this film is it's a martial arts action version of Groundhog Day. So basically, it basically focuses on this kind of young man who seems to be kind of waking up without any really memory of how he's got there, and he seems to be sort of stuck in this time loop, and he's got these kind of like sort of private security guards that are sort of chasing him and trying to kind of kill him. Doesn't know quite what he's doing, and every time he kind of gets, you know, captured or killed or whatever, it basically kind of resets and he has to try and make kind of different decisions. That's kind of your A storyline. We do get a kind of a B storyline which kind of gives you a little bit of backstory and what's kind of going on throughout the film, and there's even a, I guess you would call it a C storyline as well, where we have these kind of like dream sequences to, again, giving you a little bit of context about what's going on. So what did I think about Time Rush, which is also known as REFLEX, by the way? There's its alternative title there. So this is a strange film in the fact that it's, some aspects I think are very well done and some are really poor. So the poor ones, first of all, first thing you're going to notice here, the acting is beyond terrible. Beyond terrible. Now, I don't think it helps that they've ADR'd the audio. This is all set in Thailand, and it's basically, I believe they're speaking English, but clearly either the audio wasn't very good or people have thick accents and things like that. So they've redubbed the audio, so when people are speaking, the actual dialogue, it just sounds terrible. The kind of the way it's delivered, it's kind of match really with what's going on screen in regards to you know, be it in action sequences, things like that. The acting here comes across as so stilted, unfortunately, and the actual lines themselves sometimes aren't great as well. I have to say the actual plot here I would find quite confusing. It kind of makes a little bit more sense as the film goes on, but I think it doesn't do a good enough job of explaining the world in which this is all taking place and what's actually happening. So you're kind of watching this film quite perplexed, and by the end of it you'll kind of understand a little more, but I still don't feel you'll get the whole kind of story. You're still wondering, I don't quite understand what I was watching there. Unfortunately, the soundtrack, they use one kind of like song, and it just really irritates you with the end of it. Any action sequence is using the same kind of musical beats, and you'll be going, oh man, you really get some tits after all, I got to say. So I didn't like the fact that they kept on using the same musical beats over and over and over again. It gets quite annoying. On the plus side here, I actually quite like some of the action sequences. I think these guys are obviously all keen martial artists, and they do, for a limited budget film, I thought they do some quite good action sequences and some quite good different sort of styles of martial arts here. I didn't really like the way everyone was a martial artist. I have to say, it makes it sound like literally everyone that happens to kind of set foot in this kind of like, in this plot, happens to be some fantastic martial artist, which I kind of, it's kind of bothered me. But when we actually do see the fight scenes, so there are some of them which kind of look, the choreography is not quite there, and you know, people's reactions are a little bit behind of the impact and stuff like that. But you know, if you're a fan of the kind of like American Ninja style films and stuff like that, and you enjoy those kind of like cheeseball action martial arts films, then that definitely has this going for it. There is some well shot action here, and some quite impressive gymnastic ability from obviously the performance here. So I did enjoy that. And it is pretty fast paced. I mean, the whole point of this film is the fact that this guy keeps kind of getting reset, and pretty much he's reset straight into an action scene. So it is pretty fast paced, although it does get repetitive because we do see the same scenes over and over again, and some of them don't kind of play out all that different, if I'm completely honest. But it makes it a little bit of sometimes a chore to sit through. But the main issue here for me, as I say, is maybe just the acting, and maybe the plot could have been a little bit more easy to digest, I would feel. I think obviously the filmmakers clearly know what's going on, but they haven't done a good enough job in explaining to someone who is coming in cold what's actually going on, what you're actually watching here. So overall, it's a somewhat forgettable B movie, but if you are a martial arts fan, then you may want to check it out. I suggest that there are at least some good fight scenes there. So overall, I'll give this movie a 4 out of 10. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.